Mr. Kharge's statement?
Well, good evening, Maria. Good evening, everybody. Well, we don't need a lease of life because whatever noise they create, we are way ahead of them because of our social welfare schemes and because of the infrastructure development initiatives we have taken in the last few years. The point is, the Congress party today is addicted to foul, venomous language. No campaign of theirs is completed until they have abused the Honorable Prime Minister. And this thing started way back in 2007. Sonia Gandhi led it with Maut Ka Saudagar. By 2014, they had graduated to Chai Wala jibes. By 2017, they were making comments around the family members of Prime Minister, particularly his mother. And now, obviously, they have graduated to all kinds of venomous attacks. But point is, every time it has happened, whether it was in 2007 or now, it is an admission of defeat. The Congress has already peaked in Karnataka. It is going downhill. Look at the kind of statements which are anyway coming from them. They're going to remove the anti-conversion law. They are going to increase the caste, reservation. So they are back to taking the state back. On the other hand, we with our infrastructure development initiatives, social welfare schemes are way ahead. And BJP, anyway, mind you, peaks towards the last few days. We are on course to getting more than 125 seats at this point of time.
Okay, so if you are confident about the numbers, then why make this such a big issue? Here is Mr. Kharge. You have rejected his regret. He has apologized. The fact is that he has apologized. Then, and it was not said intentionally, if he says. Then why take it on the tangent the way the party has?
If you ask me, Maria, his regret was actually worse than what he said. He says that I was actually talking about their ideology. What is BJP's ideology? BJP's ideology is nation first. Was he abusing the nation first philosophy? BJP's ideology is sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka prayas. Was he, vilifying that? So in that case, the Congress party is a fringe today, which you will see anyway towards when the results come out.
So, Devashish, criticizing and calling a party as a bigger face, venomous was not bad enough. You have gone ahead and said that, it is the ideology which is poisonous. How is that really covering up your tracks?
Exactly, BJP's ideology is poisonous because they never talk about Sarvam Sambhav. Okay? They always, whenever the elections happen, what are their issues? Even in Karnataka, their issues is Muslims, Muslim identities, religious identities, caste identities. These are their issues. They never talk about development. They never talk about what their government has given to the states in last 4 or 5 years. And whenever there is a charges of 40% commission on the current BJP government, they never speaks about this. Whenever they call Amit Shah, what Amit Shah made a statement in the rally that if Congress comes into the power, there will be riots. This is a statement made by the Home Minister of this country. So naturally, the ideology of Bharatiya Janata Party is phenomenal, and it is never going to benefit the country, especially
tell me one thing. If we look at election after election, particularly when this entire bringing the discourse low is concerned and the personal attack against the Prime Minister is concerned, I'm going to talk about it. 2007, Sonia Gandhi says that Gujarat Chief Minister is Maut Ka Saudagar. And BJP came back to power, winning 117 of the 182 seats it contested, polling 49.12%. Manishankar Ayyar talks about Prime Minister and that famous Chai Wala jibe. Then we saw what? BJP led a massive victory with 336 seats. The party alone won 282 seats. Then Khoon Ki Dalali comment of Rahul Gandhi in 2016. After that, 324 of 403 seats. Manishankar Ayyar talking about niche, and then we have seen a similar electoral victories. You know what the electorates and the people in general think about your personal attacks. The Prime Minister's personal capital is high. Why would Mr. Kharge even get into a space such as this?
See, if I quote the history of the jibes against the political leader, then you should also quote about the jersey guy, about the 50 crores girlfriend, about super nikah. And these all statements were made by the Prime Minister itself about the uh, female dignities, female politicians, Congress ex-president. So this is a long run chain of malified language by the Prime Minister itself. But when it comes to the acceptation of these malified comments, he never accepted this. You know, whether election won by him on his personal jibe or on his on his magic or on his works, is a totally different scenario. I think this Karnataka election is totally going to be fought on the agendas of the people.
Okay. So what is the
time,
agenda of the people? To call Prime Minister poisonous snake?
The agenda of the people is about the corruption, about the non-delivery of the promises by the Bharatiya Janata Party government, about the note ki sarkar, not the vote ki sarkar. Na, these are the agendas of the Karnataka election.
Tuhin.
Not about the Modi.
Tuhin. So according to the
agendas are very clear.
Yes.
Whether it is
Yes, go ahead.
the agendas are very clear, whether it is the new Bangalore-Mysuru highway, whether it is the slew of Vande Bharat Express, the quality of life of people have improved. And, you know, today, large parts of the world are still reeling with COVID crisis in a big way. You are calling that Prime Minister poisonous who put his personal political equity at stake and went ahead with Indian vaccines to ensure that all Indians were vaccinated in record time. That is why, you know, nobody takes Congress seriously. Two, Congress exposes its own despondency, frustration, and you know, its defeat when it uses such foul language against the Prime Minister.
Okay. Sanjay Kumar, is this really an issue on which battle for Karnataka can be decided, particularly in the slogovers that we are in?
No, Maria, I don't think that this is going to be the issue of elections in Karnataka for the next, you know, the remaining days, remaining 10, 12 days. I think that this is not the issue. This issue has come. This will go. While BJP will try to make this issue as effective as possible. But I don't think that voters are so are getting so carried away by this statement of Kharge, whether in favor of Congress party or against Congress party. I think there are lots of other issues about which voters are concerned. I'm in Karnataka, Maria, today, and I must tell you that I visited lots of, the lower income class colonies. And I must tell you that while there is a lot of buzz in Delhi about Karnataka election, but talk to these Delhi wage earners, they are quite absolutely indifferent about what is happening in Karnataka, even the elections in Karnataka. So if that is the situation, how do I imagine that this statement is going to be the statement for deciding the Karnataka election?
Sanjay Kumar, why is there this indifference that you're talking about? Why is there disinterest and indifference?
Yes, I'm talking about especially one section of voters, which is the lower income voters, which is the like the poor voters, the marginal, in terms of economic category, the marginal voters. Very, very indifferent. They are, some of them even don't know the date of election. They don't know which date the election is taking place. So the point I'm trying to connect is that this issue is not going to be a big issue in election, in Karnataka election. There are other issues. Corruption is the issue which people are talking about, other sections of voters. There are other local issues people are talking about, but this is not going to be the issue of election.
Okay. So according to you, this will not be an issue. Then why is BJP saying that this is the turning point, Tuhin Sinha?
No, BJP, like I said, our campaign anyway picks up towards the last 10 days. In all the elections, even in Gujarat, you would have thought of BJP winning 130 seats, but eventually we won 155 seats. So last 10 days are very crucial. In fact, most of our campaign, we resort to what you've heard people calling carpet bombing. But anyway, like I mentioned, I wouldn't agree with my previous speaker when he says that the poor people are not interested. Yes, there has been a marginal fall in voting percentages in the last few years, but that is also largely because people, by and large, know the election result. People vote for continuity. And over here, once again, in Karnataka, you will see people voting for continuity because, from one or two airports in a state to 4 or 5 airports, that has been the level of progress that the country has witnessed in the last few years. So I think seamless connectivity, improvement in people's lives, and a host of other social welfare schemes, all of them make BJP the front.
Okay, then
obvious
T.R. Prasad Gowda,
to
continuity or change?
Poor and the airports. Airport doesn't help urban poor in any way. I am in very close to the Bangalore airport at the moment today, and I have done all my feedback throughout the day in the localities around them. So I would disagree that there's any connection. Yes, I do agree that some welfare schemes, the poorer sections of the people are getting benefited from other welfare schemes. But this example of developing 5 airports in Karnataka when there was 1 airport, I don't find any connection between urban poor and 5 airports in Bangalore, in Karnataka.
Okay. T.R. Prasad Gowda, what's your view? Is this continuity or change? And, the BJP leaders, including Tejasvi Surya and others, were saying this as a turning point. Will people of Karnataka get so sentimental in the slogovers in the next few days, in the run-up to 10th?
Madam, abusing Prime Minister or criticizing Prime Minister is not acceptable. But that doesn't mean that Karnataka people will carried away by this statement. Because 2014, 2019, yes, there was a Modi impact was there. The people blindly believed Modi ji. But this time, they know our Prime Minister. And they will not believe like 2014 elections and 2019 elections. And there was clearly there is no much impact. There is no much impact of our Prime Minister's arrival here. Only thing is the cost of expenditure is going up in each visit. They are making a lot of expenditures, but not only the expenditure, and he is canvassing for his party as Prime Minister. It is acceptable, but there is no impact.
Okay, you are saying that Prime Minister's campaigns have no impact. I mean, Tuhin Sinha, as a journalist who covers elections, I would also disagree with that assessment.
No, you have seen the impact of Prime Minister Modi across the country. So I think, Karnataka is no different. And we have already seen the couple of rallies that he has had, couple of roadshows has had enormous impact. But also, I would like to point out over here that the Congress leadership in Karnataka has no credibility. People like D.K. Shiv Kumar, whose personal wealth gets extended by, a couple of times with every election without any known or obvious sources of income, are very shady people. And eventually people have, the people of a state like Karnataka will not trust the Congress leadership which backs people like shady people like D.K. Kumar as the state president.
Okay, I have just enough time for the final word to Devashish and Professor Sanjay Kumar. Devashish, a quick word from you. How worried is the Congress party?
BJP is lacking the leadership in the Karnataka. BJP is lacking the issues. BJP is facing high anti-incumbency in Karnataka. That's why they are trying to derail this election in their last phase. But the people of the Karnataka are well aware. They have made up their mind that Congress is going to win the election and form the government after May 15th.
Okay, Professor Sanjay Kumar, since you are on ground zero, making assessment, meeting people, help us understand. Has the election been decided, or is the election being decided? It's in the process of being decided.
Yes, I would say the election is in the process of being decided. I do not get a sense that election is already decided. Not at all. There is a tough contest. I would say there is a real election which is taking place in Karnataka, like what was happening in Gujarat. Because when I was studying Gujarat, right from the beginning, I was saying that I have very little interest in Gujarat because I knew that BJP is heading for a very big victory. Karnataka is quite in contrast to that. Okay. There is a tough contest between BJP and Congress. Very difficult to say at this moment which party is ahead, but there's a real contest between these two.
Okay, so it's a tough contest that's happening in Karnataka. So certainly to say that the Prime Minister's rallies or blitzkrieg will not have an impact may not be the right assessment, Mr. Gowda. Thank you so much, Tuhin Sinha, Devashish, T.R. Prasad Gowda and Professor Sanjay Kumar. As the campaign trail heats up, we turn our eyes to central Karnataka, the BJP stronghold, where both Prime Minister Modi and former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah are focusing their campaigns. Here's a special report.
So we've travelled to North Karnataka and now I'm moving towards Central Karnataka, and at this point of time I'm in Davangere. At one point of time it was called the Manchester of Karnataka. It's also now an educational hub. But what's the most famous thing which is identified is with what is called butter dosa or bene dosa, and I'm standing outside one of the oldest restaurants, which is Guru Kotteshwara Butter Dosa Hotel, as the name suggests. So let me just try and go inside and figure out what can be the oshas and whether the butter dosa will give that butter edge to the BJP or will it give to the Congress party. पहले आप मुझे बता दोगे कि ये बटर डोसा डिफरेंट कैसे होता है?
दो आइटम है, वो इसका बटर डोसा, इसका प्लेन डोसा। दो आइटम है, प्लेन डोसा, बटर डोसा।
तो यहाँ पे खास क्या होता है? जैसे ये बटर है, ये आलू अलग से है, ये कोई स्पेशल चटनी है?
ड्राई चटनी, उसका वो पानी।
मैं बना के ट्राई कर सकती हूँ डोसा बनाना? मुझे बनाने दोगे, दिखा दो कैसे बनते हैं? एक मैं बनाना चाहती हूँ।
हम आपका बनाता है।
भाई मुझे बताओ मुझे कैसे डालना है? कैसे इसको? हाथ जलेगा तो नहीं मेरा?
ऐसा
ऐसा ऐसा ऐसा पकड़ने का।
मैं बनाता ना, ऐसा बनाता।
मैं घर में नहीं बनाता।
एक मिनट बना
हाँ ओके ओके, चलो मैं कोशिश करती हूँ। ओके, ये खराब बन गया ना तो आप मुझे okay. Thank you. The thing about Devangere also is that it's considered to be one of the lucky constituencies, and the convention really is that if you've contested from here or if you visit this place, then you're likely to win the elections, which is why, if you remember, the Vijay Sankalp Yatra of the BJP actually ended with a big convention here, which was done by the Prime Minister. And then, of course, Siddaramaiah's birthday bash, which in a sense launched the campaign for the Congress party and also show of strength, because DK Shiv Kumar as well as Rahul Gandhi, all of them were very present there. So, and therefore both the BJP and Congress are pinning hopes that, you know, coming here means that Devangere will prove lucky for us in elections. One quick word before I start eating my butter dosa, which I don't know when it's going to be made. Devangere का famous ये भी है कि यहाँ पे चुनाव होने वाले हैं, elections भी होने वाले हैं। हाँ, election है। Issue क्या होगा?
इसे क्या नहीं हुआ?
डेवलपमेंट
हो क्या नहीं, उससे रोट कितना रहता है उतना जाता है।
जब आप वोट करने जाओगे तो आप अपने नेता से क्या चाहते हो? डेवलपमेंट चाहते हो कि अच्छा पैसा चाहते हो कि नौकरी चाहिए?
पैसा का नहीं चाहिए,
नौकरी चाहिए, नौकरी चाहिए। ओके, सो इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ जॉब्स ओवर हियर, which is what they are good. मेरा डोसा बन गया? हाँ, तो मेरा डोसा जो मैंने बनाया, so that is as far as Devangere. So I'm going off to now have my bene dosa made by myself. I don't know whether it's going to have the right flavor and whether it's been made right, but certainly the politicians are hoping that it's going to work for them. Okay, so this is the dosa. मैंने ये बनाया था? Okay, not too bad actually. It's quite okay. So I'm going to start having this butter dosa. But while I'm having this butter dosa, let me just also have a quick chat. यहाँ पे चुनाव पे इश्यूज क्या होंगे? बटर डोसा तो खा लिया, यहाँ का खास बात है डोसा, लेकिन वोट सिर्फ डोसा पे तो वोट नहीं होता ना। यहाँ पे देवनगढ़ में क्या क्या इश्यूज होते हैं जो जिसपे वोट लोग देना चाहेंगे?
डेवलपमेंट के ताल्लुक से हो सकता है, एजुकेशन के ताल्लुक से भी हो सकता है, पटरी के उस तरफ जो इलाका है तो साउथ और नॉर्थ जैसा बोलते हैं ना, वो हिस्से है देवनगढ़, तो दूसरे हिस्से में बहुत पीछे है, तो वो इलाका अगर अच्छा काम वाम हो गया
तो आपको सड़कें, रोड, डेवलपमेंट ये सब इम्पोर्टेंट होता है। ये कास्ट, वास्ट, रिलीजन ये मैटर नहीं करता जब आप लोग वोट करने जाते हो? You know, so this area has a large number of Muslim population, as you can see. It also has a Lingayat, the Kurupa community as well, SC, ST, and as there's a race for caste reservations, which is taking place both from the BJP side, which are saying that we're going to cut down on that 4% reservation for Muslims, with the Congress party now promising 50 to 75% of reservation Is that what really matters? Because when I just spoke to him, he seems to be saying that caste religion doesn't really matter. We want development, and that's going to be the key word. Will Devangade actually vote along those lines? I'm going to go back to eating the bene dosa, which has been made by myself, and well, it doesn't look bad, and I'm sure it tastes very good as well.
As Pallavi enjoys her dosa, I'm going to shift focus to another story. It has been days since India's decorated wrestlers have been out on the streets protesting against former WFI chief Brij Bhushan Singh over allegations of sexual harassment, mental torture and misuse of authority. The Supreme Court issued a notice to the Delhi police seeking a report, and today the Delhi police assured the Supreme Court that an FIR will be registered in this case. Speaking exclusively to CNN News 18, Brij Bhushan Singh has said that he is ready for any probe and will cooperate with the Delhi police. However, the war of words is not limited to these two sides. On Thursday, Indian Olympic Association President PT Usha said the protests amount to indiscipline and are tarnishing the country's image. The wrestlers responded, saying it's unfortunate that this remark came from a woman and a decorated athlete. They also claimed that they tried to contact PT Usha several times over their charges, but she never answered their calls. But in a major boost, various athletes, including Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra, boxer Nikhil Zareen and tennis star Sania Mirza, have backed the wrestlers and posted tweets in solidarity with the protests. Despite the response from the Delhi police, the wrestlers maintain their protest will continue till real action is taken against Brij Bhushan Singh. The question remains, within the storm of charges, when will the truth come out? Should the wrestlers trust the police investigation? Can the Delhi police deliver a free and fair probe? Should the sports authorities introspect and address the fact that our nation's finest have been forced to hit the streets to have their voices heard?
फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष ही ऐसे शोषण करते रहेंगे तो किसके पास क्या लेके जाए खिलाड़ी? उनसे बड़ा तो उस फेडरेशन में कोई नहीं है। तो मुझे लगता है कि दिल्ली पुलिस को कड़ी से कड़ी कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए, उनको जेल में डालना चाहिए जल्दी से जल्दी।
दिल्ली पुलिस पे हमें अभी भी ट्रस्ट नहीं है, क्योंकि वो कोई भी क्योंकि हम 6 दिन से यहाँ बैठे हैं, तो FIR करने में इन्होंने इतना टाइम लगा दिया है, तो वो ट्रस्ट जो बिल्ड होना चाहिए तो वो उन्होंने पहले ही हमारा तोड़ दिया है, और वो लूज FIR कर सकते हैं, इसका भी हमें अंदेशा है।
They should come to us earlier if they have a real problem. Instead of coming to us, they are gone straight away to street. No, it is not good for the sports, not only for the residents.
अब कंप्लेंट करने वाले कमेटी नहीं बनाते, लेकिन सरकार को बनानी थी, हमने बनाई। उन्होंने कहा एक बंदा और ऐड की, उन्होंने बबीता फोगाट का नाम दिया, हमने उसको भी ऐड करने का काम किया। हमारे मन में कुछ नहीं, हम निष्पक्ष जांच चाहते थे, ओवरसाइट कमेटी उसके बीच में देखी, उन्होंने देखने का काम किया। लेकिन पुलिस भी प्रिलिमिनरी इंक्वायरी करती, दिल्ली पुलिस ने कहा प्रिलिमिनरी इंक्वायरी करेंगे और जो उसमें आता है उसके बाद अगली कार्रवाई करेंगे।
क्या कारण है, क्या मजबूरी है, क्या व्यवस्था है, सरकार बताए। अपने दोषों को और अपने अपराधों को झूठ से दबाया नहीं जा सकता।
And let me go straight to the reaction that is coming in from Brij Bhushan Singh. Let's listen in.
देखिए, मैं न्यायपालिका के निर्णय से खुश हूँ और बेहद प्रसन्न हूँ, और दिल्ली पुलिस को जांच मिली है और जांच में जहां भी मेरे सहयोग की आवश्यकता होगी मैं सहयोग करने के लिए तैयार हूं। और न्यायपालिका से बड़ा कोई नहीं है इस देश के अंदर, और मैं भी न्यायपालिका से बड़ा नहीं हूं। उच्चतम न्यायालय का फैसला आया है, FIR लिखने का आदेश हुआ है। यद्यपि सरकार की तरफ से कहा गया था कि FIR लिखने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, और FIR लिखी जा चुकी होगी या लिखी जा रही होगी, और मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट से बड़ा नहीं हूँ। मैं उस फैसले का स्वागत करता हूँ।
सर, किस तरह से देखते हैं, मतलब अब इस जांच के बाद तो दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी हो ही जाएगा आपके?
देखिए, मैं उस समय भी मैंने कोई सवाल नहीं उठाया था जिस समय ओवरसाइट कमेटी बनी थी। उस समय भी कोई सवाल मैंने नहीं खड़ा किया था, और मैंने हर नियम कानून को माना था। और
Let me bring in my guests. Sudhanshu Mittal, former Vice President of IOA. Sunita Godara is a former National Marathon Champion. We also have Meeran Chadda, former IPS officer. Sunita, is this too late? You have Olympians of India, prides of India on a dharna for weeks now, and they have been given lessons in discipline.
Yeah, you are very correct. It's too late, and they are delaying the issue, which is not good for the sports. All these problems can be sorted out if they follow the rules and regulations. A sports law which says that if it is professional misconduct by any person of federation or sports authorities, any professional misconduct, then there is life ban from sports. That the sports law says, no. So if they follow the sports law, the authorities follow the sports law, they can take the action, proactive action. Secondly, police can take proactive action, but nobody is taking action. That's why the delay is going, it is becoming longer, and it is not good for the sports people, because when Olympians, Commonwealth Games champions, world champions are having this problem, then what about the grassroots
absolutely,
level? And
Sunita, this is demoralizing. This certainly is demoralizing. Meeran Chadda, it takes the Supreme Court to instruct the Delhi police to file an FIR.
Yeah, it's really an irony. I'll tell you frankly, even our head constable would have registered this case. The fact that the girls had to be on road and to protest, the whole country being behind them, it's a tragic situation. But I would say der aaye durust aaye, shayad Supreme Court se dar gaye, but our head constable would have registered this case. That much, let me tell you.
And it's tragic, as you said it rightly, and it's ironical at the same time. You have a PT Usha, former superstar herself, of Indian Olympics and sports person, giving lessons in discipline, and then you have others like Neeraj Chopra and all coming out in support. Sudhanshu Mittal, the entire sporting community seems to be divided on this issue.
It is for reasons that the way the entire episode has unfolded itself has not been a very smooth this thing. If you recollect, Maria, on your show itself, I had suggested, and I had in fact asked, that if there is an evidence of misconduct, then why is an FIR not being filed? Somebody must at the end of the day say, I have been harassed, this is when it happened, and that is it. But for very strange reasons, the same thing never happened. Even before the committee, which was constituted to look into this, to which these athletes were satisfied, the same assertion of personally having been sexually harassed was never made. I would have preferred that the committee's report should have been made public for the simple reason that that would have dispelled any doubts about it. Now, when the FIR is lodged, where if I have not read the FIR, so I still do not know
But
if somebody is
in
claiming
case
that
it's always
that
seen,
particular person.
under the new guidelines, and I think Meeran Chadda should come in on this, it's very clear when an allegation of sexual harassment is made, the first duty of a cop is to register an FIR. That complaint has to be registered, not the manner in which it has been dilly-dallying in this particular case. He may be a member of parliament, a strong man, a powerful man, but that doesn't mean that he is above the law.
No, Maria, I would desist from passing any comment on that because the matter is sub judice. There is an intervention by the highest court of the country. And in light of that, to me, really commenting on this issue may not be proper on the legal side of it. But as I said, in the entire thing, there are serious questions about it. Why should there have been a delay in filing this FIR at all?
Yes.
3 months. You remember the first time the dharna took place. And I had then also said, if there is a victim of it who is coming forward to say, I'm a victim, and this is the incident which has taken place, immediately action should be taken. I'm very, very clear on that. But unfortunately, at that time also, if you recollect, there was nobody who claimed to have been a victim.
No,
Everybody said,
but
I've been told that
we have to learn to trust our Olympians. If these are girls who are sitting on a dharna on the streets, then we have to trust them. It's okay for them to not give proof. Why should we ask for proof on issues of sexual harassment?
If I would have trusted an Olympian who says, I have been harassed, period. I would not say.
But why will they? But why shouldn't they speak for others?
I would only.
But who will decide who should they speak
them
for?
Speak.
If one among them has been harassed, the others have taken the responsibility to fight for justice. Why shouldn't that be seen that way, Mr. Mittal?
No, that is okay, but somebody has to say somebody has been harassed. You cannot make a claim of harassment in generality. And let me tell you, when you talk about trusting your own Olympians, you have an Olympian who's in jail for murder. So don't make a general statement about Olympians and a general statement of trust. These are specific instances, and there has been
no evidence that has been brought out by the Olympians is the point that has been made.
Now the way people
I've not said that. No. I've not said that.
And world champions, this is also professional misconduct. Your own sports stars, if you start doubting them, why can't this investigation take place properly? Why this
don't you have a Sushil Kumar in jail? What are we talking? What summarizing are we doing?
People are saying first they should have come to us, to IOA.
अरे कैसी बातें करते हैं आप लोग कुछ भी बोल देते हैं क्या यहाँ पे?
No, Sudhanshu Mittal ji.
You have a Sushil Kumar in jail, and he was your most celebrated wrestler. Did you not have a Sushil Kumar? He says I'm innocent. Are you going to trust him? Maria, let's not be rhetorical. Let's not be illogical, and let's not be rhetorical. There has to be a logic behind what we're talking.
No, there is mob lynching. I would go with one thing.
Are you going to have mob lynching?
There is a problem in this argument, Sudhanshu Mittal, that you have women wrestlers protesting.
It's the question of sexual harassment.
And it's a case of sexual harassment. That's where it stops. Without an FIR, you cannot continuously seek evidence.
POXO rule says clearly.
No, but where is the... Somebody has to say, I have been harassed, na? Maria, don't get into mob lynching. No, you cannot lynch people. You can't have mob lynching. You cannot have a media lynching. अरे ये क्या बात हो रही है? आप लोग media lynching करोगे या mob lynching करोगे? Somebody is giving an argument. You cannot. Can you not trust your Olympian?
Meeran Chadda, as a former IPS officer, help us understand where do you stand on this?
Just don't disgrace our sports stars.
Meeran Chadda, if you can hear me, ma'am.
Bring medal, you are there having dinner with them. And now they are in distress, you are not with them. So it is not done thing.
You have a medal winner who's in jail. You have a medal winner who's in jail for murder.
What is the problem?
कैसी बात करते हैं?
अरे सुशील कुमार ने मर्डर किया तो वो जेल में है ना?
How do you defend a medal winner who's in jail? How is a medal winner in jail? He is claiming innocence. Should he not? Should be in jail or he should not be in jail?
Rule follow करो सब सही हो जाएगा. लेकिन कोई rule follow करता ही नहीं है. In this country,
Please don't teach it. You follow the rules. You follow the rules. Don't be a mob lyncher. You are trying to be a mob lyncher. You're an IPS officer. What kind of an officer are you?
CNN News 18's Nikhil Lakhwani in fact spoke exclusively to wrestler Bajrang Punia, who is also on that dharna in Jantar Mantar, and listen into what he had to say.
बजरंग जी, आज हमने देखा कि दिल्ली पुलिस ने कोर्ट में बोला है कि एफआईआर फाइल करने के लिए वो लोग राजी हो गए हैं. क्या धरना खत्म होगा? नहीं तो क्यों, किस कारण से नहीं कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, दिल्ली पुलिस पे हमें पहले भी भरोसा नहीं था और आज भी नहीं है, क्योंकि उन्होंने विश्वास खुद ही तोड़ा है. और अगर वो माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का भी ऑर्डर, क्योंकि कानून से बड़ा देश में कोई नहीं है, और हमें न्यायपालिका पे पूरा भरोसा है कि हमारे साथ न्याय होगा.
आपको पता है जब एफआईआर रजिस्टर होती है, स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड होते हैं, आपकी तरफ से होंगे, उनकी तरफ से होंगे, एक टाइम टेकिंग प्रोसेस है.
देखिए, पहले एफआईआर दर्ज हो, पहले ये देखेंगे दिल्ली पुलिस कौन सी धारा लगाई जाएगी, क्योंकि वो भी जरूरी है. क्या पता वो लाइटली केस बना दे, क्योंकि उनके ऊपर एलिगेशन सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट के लगे हैं. और सबूत हमने, बयान हमने और सेट कमेटी में भी दिए थे, आईओ की जो कमेटी थी उसमें भी दिए थे. लेकिन ब्रजभूषण हमें नहीं लगता, क्योंकि मैं आपके माध्यम से भी माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट से भी अपील करूंगा कि आप इसमें खुद संज्ञान लीजिए, जो जांच कमेटी हो उसमें खुद संज्ञान लीजिए कि निष्पक्ष जांच खिलाड़ियों के साथ हो सके. क्योंकि दिल्ली पुलिस ने जब केस दर्ज नहीं किया तो निष्पक्ष जांच क्या करेंगे? एफआईआर दर्ज नहीं किया अभी तक, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि वो निष्पक्ष जांच भी करेंगे इसमें.
आखिरी सवाल बस आपसे लूंगा, कई सारे सवालों के बीच बाकी सब बातचीत चलती रहेगी. क्या हो ऐसा कि आप लोग धरना खत्म कर देंगे? क्या पॉइंट के बाद धरना खत्म?
उनको अरेस्ट कर लीजिए, हम धरना खत्म कर देंगे.
सीधे अरेस्ट?
जी बिल्कुल.
All right, we are slipping into a short break. Up next, an exclusive chat with producer Vipul Shah and actor Adah Sharma on the controversy over their latest film, The Kerala Story, which highlights the impact of radicalization on women in God's own country.
Money which has been unearthed in the house of the BJP legislators or the BJP ministers is an issue. So there are so many issues which the BJP is unable to answer or unable to react to those issues, for which reason ultimately BJP has to rely upon some issue to divert the attention of the people, which will not be.
So let me ask Sanjay Jha, is this a diversionary tactic, or whether it is something that will cost the Congress because personal attacks have not worked against Mr. Modi? Fact of the matter is that there was this feeling that, keep it to local issues, keep it to, corruption by the Bombay government, the reservation issue, which a lot of people seem to be agitated about. But somehow here comes the national president of the Congress and says something which is completely uncalled for, actually, in the campaign of Karnataka, to make a personal attack against Mr. Modi. Now, you can't blame the BJP if they're going to take this to town, saying that, look, this reflects the mindset of the Congress party, because after all, no less than the president of the Congress party has made this comment.
Zaka, I can tell you this is a manifestation of BJP's political desperation. I just spoke actually a couple of hours ago to some people from Karnataka, and they are unanimous in saying that the 40% cut government, I mean, it's such a joke that this is how BJP is being talked about in the political lexicon in Karnataka, and I think all over the country. They are headed for a rout, for a wipeout. And I can tell you the exhibition over, the comment made by Imran Pratap Garhi when he was met Atiq Ahmed some decades ago, or, blaming Mr. Siddaramaiah, as I think the gentleman spoke before me, tells you that the BJP is cornered and they are headed for a defeat. And I'll give you two examples that are very pertinent here, Zaka. To me, I'll tell you what is more serious, and the voters and the enlightened voters of Karnataka are fully aware. Amit Shah, India's Home Minister, responsible for the internal security of this country, makes a statement where he says that if the BJP were not to come into power in Karnataka, they will face communal riots. This is the man who's supposed to spread serenity and create tranquility and syncretism in our society. He has an FIR against him lodged by the Congress. I mean, isn't that a mammoth shame? You think the people of Karnataka are not aware? And that is the fundamental challenge to our future. The second point, Narendra Modi, and I'm going to quote to you, this is very important and I want to quote this to you, Azaka. He accused Dr. Manmohan Singh. It was not another ad hominem attack. He said that Dr. Manmohan Singh was hand in glove with Pakistan, trying to install Amit Patel or somebody with Pakistan sympathy as the Chief Minister of Gujarat.
Professor Sarangi, first things first, is there a pattern here where you believe that the Congress at critical times in critical elections ends up making these sort of personal comments against Mr. Modi in a way that it costs the Congress party?
A very good evening. Frustration, desperation, hopelessness and cynicism. I think these are the words that come to my mind when I think of the Congress and Mallikarjun Kharge ji against the backdrop of his statement of poisonous snake made against Prime Minister Modi in Karnataka. See, Mallikarjun Kharge, the president of the Congress party, knows what's coming. They are going to bite the dust in the Karnataka elections, and I tell you, the people of Karnataka will definitely not take his expression very lightly, very kindly. Now here is a person, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is loved by most of the Indians, and in 3 consecutive surveys at the world level, he has been adjudged as the most popular leader. So whom is he speaking against? And this is not for the first time that the Congress has done so. I think you just talked about many instances. Ravan, Neech, Maut ka Saudagar, Modi teri kabr khudegi. What kind of expressions? See, we are talking about the Prime Minister of the country. We need to have some respect for this highest constitutional post too. And more so, we are talking about a very popular leader of the country who is accepted by all. So I think more or less this expresses reflects the mindset of the Congress. They have stooped very low. And I think they know what's coming. They are desperate, they are frustrated. And you rightly pointed out that before the Gujarat Assembly elections, Prime Minister Modi had been termed Ravan by the same person. And we know what happened thereafter. So I'm sure this statement would boomerang. And we are going to win the Karnataka elections. And I think Congress will have to pay for this kind of
so let me ask Brijesh Kalapa. I mean, although Mr. Kharge has apologized and clearly, you know, you can say what you want about him apologizing for it, but the damage seems to have already been done. The damage is that you are making a personal attack against someone whose integrity seems to be above board, whose image amongst the public seems to be above board, and personal attacks when it comes against Mr. Modi, in the past at least we have seen it has not worked. So what explains why Mr. Kharge said what he said? And then, of course, the subsequent retraction and apology, if you will.
Zaka, one part, of course, is the fact that I don't agree with the words of Mr. Kharge. Where was the need to call anybody anything? I don't think this is the time to call anybody names. This is not the time.
The Kerala story releases next week, but its trailer has created quite a controversy. The trailer gives us a glimpse into what could be a very disturbing and at the same time thought-provoking cinema. And the producer is joining us live. Vipul Shah, really appreciate your time. And Adah Sharma is actually playing the lead role. She is the woman who converted. She is the converted Muslim woman, Fatima Ba. Fatima Ba, Assalamu alaikum. Pehle mujhe apne bare mein bataiye. How was your experience before I bring in Vipul?
I'm Shalini Unnikrishnan here, firstly. So Fatima Ba will be for the film when people go to watch it on 5th May. Well, my experience was, I think I'm really fortunate I got to be part of this story and help bring awareness to so many girls out there. So I think, yeah.
Vipul Shah, we have seen recently the entire controversy and the interest that has been there around Kashmir files. Do you see the Kerala story have the similar impact, because this is a story which must be told?
I think controversy is not the right word, I would say, because there is no controversy. Some people are questioning some of the facts that we have shown in the film, and I think fair enough, everybody has got the right to question. Since it's a film which is about true story, since it's a film about so many victims, it's a film which is a very, very sensitive subject and a very important subject in our country. We are running a hashtag called Save Our Daughters. So obviously some people will find it, some of the facts they may feel that they need to get right answers. And I think that's perfectly fair and all right. As long as they are able to reason with us and we are able to reason with them. We can agree to disagree in our country and we can still make a film. So I'm seeing a lot of chatter on the social media, but I think those are questions and those questions are answered in the film. So I don't see any controversies per se. If somebody wants to take a political line on it, well, that's anyway beyond everybody's control, isn't it?
Vipul, there's a lot of criticism that has come from Muslim bodies in particular. They are all up in arms against this film. In fact, the Kerala government has also filed an FIR when the first trailer was released sometime last year. Now, are you sensing that it's when you tell a story which is so deeply polarizing, were you prepared for a reaction of this nature?
Yeah, I looked at it like this, that in Hindu society, Sati Pratha was a bad thing to do, right? So we as Hindus stopped it. So I believe if something wrong is going on in a particular part of the country or in a particular part of a society, I think it's incumbent on those people to correct it. That's my belief, that's my faith in everybody in this country. So when I made the film, I just wanted to bring awareness. I wanted to bring this very, very disturbing fact to the light. And actually, I'm really hoping that the right thing will be done when film is released and people will take action against those perpetrators. And that would be the right thing to do. And I think it's a duty of everybody to really go out there and stop this menace from happening. So when we were starting the film, yes, we had anticipated some amount of reaction because, somehow we don't want to face the facts. We want to somehow avoid dealing with them. And the easiest way is to discredit the film. It's easiest way to say, oh, it's a propaganda film, it's this, it's that, and rubbish it. But that segment is not going to be successful. When people will see the film, they will realize that what we are saying is really, really heartbreaking. And we need to save our daughters from this menace. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to come forward and take action against what's going on.
And so tell me about your own research, because if we were to look at 3-4 facts that have been shown in this trailer, it talks about the love jihad conspiracy, then it talks about the issue of religious conversion, then, the entire focus is on connection between Kerala and ISIS that has been shown, and also about radicalization. When you were shooting for this film, did you sense that there is that shift that is visible of Islamization of Kerala?
We actually met some girls also, and I went through they have done, Vipul and Sudipto sir have done extensive research on this. And when we went through it, it's scary. It's like you actually see the horror, and we met those victims as well. We met the girls. So yeah, I think, I don't know, I can't even explain it in words. I don't know if you can explain someone's experience like this in words. I hope the film does justice to it, because again, it's a visual representation in 2 hours. But to put it in words in a few sentences, I don't know how to do it without just selling it short and, just sounding frivolous. I don't know how to put it in words.
So just on that, I have to add something here. that, you know, when we met so many girls and we took their testimonies on videos and stuff like that. So when we started writing, every scene that you see in the film, if that's not happened to Shalini, it's definitely happened to somebody else. And that's why we are saying that based on many true stories, because every scene that is shown in the film has happened to somebody. And that is why this tragedy is so big. And that is why it's such an important subject for everybody to see and feel their pain.
Yes, because it's so disturbing perhaps, and when truth stares at us, the manner in which this film is showing, it's about life stories. And as Adah was pointing out, that these are real life testimonies that you had, which is being depicted by these girls in this film. You know, these terms, Vipul, love jihad, narcotics jihad, in the context of Kerala has been spoken about in the past. I want to understand from you, what made you do a film of this nature?
Honestly, I feel when we take we give such names, love jihad or narcotics jihad, we are not doing justice to the pain of those girls. So for me, it's a human tragedy. For me, when I read the material, when I met those girls, and when I went through everything, I was so shaken. I was so shaken that this actually is happening in our country, and most of us are not even aware of it.